This is Abby, and I want to tell you about my first backpacking trip ever. We went to the Grand Canyon Thanksgiving week. I am 9 and I do lots of hiking, but I've never backpacked, never spent the night, or had to carry my gear. To backpack the Grand Canyon, you have to have a permit. We did not have one, so Dad waited in line outside for an hour at 20 degrees. Brr, but we couldn't get a permit for that day. But we did get a permit for the next day. If you don't get a permit, you will need something to do all day. We went to see Mount Humphreys, which is more than 12,000 feet tall with snow. We also ate breakfast at Denny's, and we saw Sunset Crater Volcanic National Monument. We visited some Indian ruins which were old and broken. We learned the Indians farmed with no water. It seemed pretty hard. Then we saw the new Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts movie. We ate Mexican food and then we went to bed. The next day we went back to the Grand Canyon, weighed our packs. Mine weighed 13 pounds. And then we had to ride the bus to the trailhead. We went down the South Kaibab Trail. Now let me tell you, when you look at the Grand Canyon, it is huge. The canyon is 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and over a mile deep. At the bottom is the Colorado River. You can't even see the bottom from the top. It is so deep. The Colorado River has been carving the canyon deeper and deeper for 5 to 6 million years. That's a long time. We went down the Kaibab Trail because it is the quickest way down, and we shouldn't need too much water because it is all downhill. There's no water anywhere on the trail until the very bottom when you get to the river. There is lots and lots of water. We saw one of the rarest birds in the world. We saw the California condor flying above us. The condor's wingspan is almost 10 feet. Wikipedia says that you are more likely to mistake a condor for a small plane than for another bird. In 1987, there were only 22 condors left in the whole world. Scientists captured every one of them and bred them at zoos, including the San Diego Wild Animal Park by my house. It's hard to breed condors. They can't have babies until they're at least 6 years old, and then they lay one egg every other year. Scientists learned that if they took one egg away from the parents, they would lay another one. So scientists would raise one chick, and then they would let the parents raise the other. That way they could have 2 chicks every other year. In December 2016, there were 446 condors in the world, with 276 in the wild and 170 in captivity. They are still trying to breed more. The U.S. government has spent more than $35 million on the condor breeding project. We are sure lucky to see this majestic bird. Let me pause here and let you listen to this song because it is one of my favorites.
That's good.
At Skeleton Point, we saw the mighty Colorado River for the first time. Colorado means colored in Spanish. The river was kind of a blue-green color. It was pretty with the red and white rocks. The park rangers have to rescue like 250 people every year out of the Grand Canyon. Some of them can't be rescued and they die. Maybe that's why they call it Skeleton Point. We finally got to the Colorado River after almost 7 miles and more than 4,800 feet down. It got a lot warmer as we went down. We camped at Bright Angel Camp right along the Bright Angel Creek. The creek was running all night and it sounded like the ocean to me. We set up camp, ate dinner, and I went to bed just after 5 o'clock California time. I was so tired. I woke up at 6:30 after sleeping for more than 13 hours. I must have been pretty tired. I was not clothed in my tent. I slept in a tent with Emily. After we woke up, we ate breakfast, we packed up, and we headed down the river trail. At the end of the river trail, right before we turned up the Bright Angel Trail, I touched the mighty Colorado River with my left pointer finger. I'm left-handed in case you didn't know. Bright Angel Trail follows Pipe Creek up the canyon. The first half of the trail to Indian Garden is not too hard. I was excited to get to Indian Garden and find the park ranger and pass off my junior ranger badge. I did the whole book. I learned a lot about the Grand Canyon. This part of the Bright Angel Trail was beautiful, with trees turning fall colors. We don't see too many fall-colored trees in San Diego. On our trip, we saw 3 kinds of ungulates. Ungulates are animals with hooves. We saw mule deer, Rocky Mountain elk, and bighorn sheep. Actually, we saw 4 kinds if you count the mules. Mules are what happens when horses and donkeys have babies. Mules are the main way that supplies get in and out of the canyon. Look for some video of a bighorn sheep later in this movie. We stopped for lunch at Indian Garden. We were going to camp at Indian Garden and spend 2 days climbing out, but we decided to power through and get home for Thanksgiving. It was hard to climb so far in one day, but it was worth it. hardest part of the trip was from the 3-mile rest house to the South Rim. Oh, it was painful. Took lots of breaks. We talked to people from France, Germany, Canada, Italy, the Netherlands, Denmark, and the United States. Lots of people visit the Grand Canyon, almost 5 million each year. Of these, only about 2% make it down to the bottom. But I made it. It was 17 miles and more than 4,400 feet of climbing, but I made it. Ben offered to carry my pack a little bit, but I didn't let him. I carried my pack the whole way. Emily and Josh beat me out by about 30 minutes. I was glad to see them on top. The Grand Canyon is not small. It is not medium. It is not even big. It's grand. And the only way to know is to go for yourself.